Afternoon everybody, and welcome back to the channel. This is the weekly Tottenham news review. I'm leader Dorset Spur, and I'm here to talk to you about all the different stories making the headlines over the last 7 days. And boy, do we have some headlines over the last 7 days. After the last couple of weeks of inactivity, all of a sudden Tottenham Hotspur and Daniel Levy have sprung into life, and of course it's created a little bit of controversy, as we will discuss very shortly. Excuse me. So first off, let's talk about the fact that Kota Takai has now officially signed for the club. £5 million from Kawasaki Fantao, and he signed, I think it was Tuesday, we saw the news, came in, centre back, plays left side, plays right side, strong, good in the air, and of course is a Japanese senior player, having played in the qualifiers against China, I believe. So yeah, another player through the door. Minimal fee of £5 million, which sounds like a steal, especially as he seems a little bit more than just the kind of for the future type of player. But we'll see. Obviously, the bigger news for all of that, which happened just yesterday, was the signing of Mohammed Kudus from West Ham United. And boy, are West Ham United fans not very happy about that. Not very happy, because the release clause was 85 million. And then there was supposed to be a Tottenham tax. And there wasn't any Tottenham tax because he's gone for 55 million, apparently, been put out as an undisclosed fee. So don't know for definite. But apparently as well, it's paid in instalments. So again, makes a bit of a mockery of my own personal video that I did on my channel, moaning about Daniel Levy putting in stupid clauses like winning the Premier League and winning the Champions League to bump the fee up. And they've managed to get him for under 60 million euro, 60 million pounds. So I really have no idea what's going on there, but how fantastic is that we have all of a sudden started to get in with the big boys and buy players that are Premier League proven, and that are exciting, and that are taking them from other clubs in the Premier League. So super stoked with that. Like I've said on a couple of other channels that I've talked on, I'm not saying that this is the one, this is the wow factor, this is the the marquee signing. I don't believe that that he is the marquee signing, but I do believe he's a very, very good footballer. Plays on the right, plays in central, can play on the left as well. So from a front attacking option, he's got that quality. Good with the ball at his feet as well. Good dribbler and so on. And I know we kind of looked at Odebear from that point of view as being the kind of player that dribbles and all the rest of it. But Kudus, it's fair to say he's in a better place than Wilson Odebear at this moment in time, for sure. So yeah, really, really happy to get that one over the line, because there was some doubts about it, and West Ham don't normally deal with this. It's been a long time. Scott Parker, the last person to come across, and it's really, really angered West Ham fans, and quite rightly so to a certain extent. They must be livid. Not even if you take away the rivalry scenario, you've got to think about how their owners are treating them. In terms of getting rid of one of their better players. £85 million release clause, going for £30 million less than that, and all the rest of it. It must be infuriating for them. And this is the trouble with football all across the world. It's such a business now that, we all sit there and moan about Daniel Levy, we moan about our board and the direction we're taking. And I would get that there is probably majority of clubs going through a very similar scenario with their owners, and not very happy. You hear it a lot. Man United fans complaining a lot, even Arsenal fans complaining a lot, West Ham fans, Chelsea fans at the beginning of last season were livid, Aston Villa, there's lots of it going on. So we're not on our own for sure. But for me, I think this is a really good deal. The fact that he came in, he said he only wanted to come to Tottenham is a big plus as well. He wants to play with Thomas Frank, who he said, I think he quoted as one of the reasons he wanted to come here, because of how he develops players, and he wants to develop, which is great. Shows the pull that Thomas Frank may have, and of course Champions League football and so on. They did his reveal video, which was pretty cool. A lot of some quite funky music in that, which was quite good. So yeah, he's totally in there, and a little bit of tongue in cheek. I saw a little video of him and Mickey van der Ven on Instagram, which was a bit tongue in cheek after his sending off last season against Mickey, which was quite funny. So well done to the social media team at Tottenham for putting that one out. Of course, that's not all of the discussion, is it, at this moment in time? Because at the same time that they were Fabrizio Romano was doing a here we go for Mohammed Kudus, he also did one for Morgan Gibbs-White, with Tottenham reportedly triggering the release clause of 60 million euros for the Nottingham Forest attacker. Of course, that's got us all in a tizzy. We're all, wow, what's going on? What's the story here? All of a sudden, we're playing release clauses. Since when did that happen? For another Premier League proven player, when have we bought two of those in a window? And of one of the quality of Morgan Gibbs-White, who I actually rate. I love, think he's an excellent player. Can play in the 10 as well. Another one who can play on the right as well. So kind of getting a bit stacked in those places. But again, it's just unbelievable to see Tottenham behaving in that manner, especially as we're talking about Vissa as well, and if you say it quietly, it might come true. Adam Wharton as well. So reports are saying that we're not done yet. There's still plenty of work to do. So really, really interesting. Of course, the Morgan Gibbs-White story has now taken another turn, because apparently the Forest chairman has said that they're going to report Tottenham, or have reported Tottenham, to the Premier League for tapping up. And they're not happy about that, and all the rest of it. And that could scupper the deal. Now, whether that does scupper the deal or not, I'm not sure. I think it probably just smacks of, you've not given us enough money. How did you know what his release clause was, and blah, blah, blah. And I think the problem there is, I think you're probably opening up a big can of worms, because surely agents and so on, if you're interested in a player and they're playing for a team, unless they're out of contract, or the club are coming to you and putting it out there and say, we want to sell this player, surely the only way you find out whether a player's interested is to talk to the agent. You talk to the agent and say, look, we're interested in your client. Would you think he would be interested in coming to Tottenham? This is what we're offering, blah, blah, blah. And the agent would go, yeah, let me talk to him. I'm sure he'd be quite interested. That it may be time for him to move on, so and so, so and so. But of course, to do that, you're going to have to trigger his release clause. Is he not allowed to tell you what the release clause is, so that you're not wasting your time? I don't get it, I don't get it. What makes it top secret? What makes a release clause top secret? And if it is so top secret, how comes everyone seems to know what these release clauses are? Because, we all know that Kudus was 85 million. So how do we know that? Well, someone said. So, it's quite a strange one. I think they're on some real thin ice trying to make a case about it. Because obviously the big issue now is that he, as I understand it, is coming to Tottenham today because he is looking to have his medical. So if he's looking to have his medical, how can you stop where he is just at this moment in time? If you've got a release clause that you were happy with, it was in his contract, you were happy with it. However you come across, however that information gets out there, surely you wanted that release clause in there. So if you were happy with a 60 million, why are you not happy with a 60 million now? Surely that would have been for you to renegotiate that release clause so that you wasn't having your pants pulled down for someone who you think is worth more than 60 million pound. So I think this is just, pumping the chest out and giving it a big, this is Nottingham Forest, we're not having any of that, and we won't be stitched up and blah, blah, blah. I think, it's one of those scenarios that they probably need to kind of get over, really. If it's £60 million and you want to take £60 million, then get on with it. It's been triggered. Surely, I don't know how this works, but surely if Tottenham wanted to buy the player and they knew his release cost was £60 million and £1, they go to Nottingham Forest and say, we're willing to give you £60 million and £1 for this player. That's his release clause triggered. Surely someone would then have to go, okay, that's fine, you can talk to the player. No? Or do we go, we're prepared to pay you 60 million and £1, and then they just go straight and talk to the player? I'm not sure how that works. So maybe there's something in it from that point of view. But certainly, from my point of view, I just think this is sort of posturing and trying to maybe squeeze a few more quid out. But I'm hopeful that the deal goes through. It feels like this is a bit in vain, and it's going to happen regardless of what Marinakis wants to do. So it'll be interesting to see where we go in this situation. So. Apologies, I just had a work call come in. The other thing I kind of just wanted to talk about today is the new coaching team, which has been confirmed this week as well. We've seen that, and we've seen Ben Haynes, I think it is, talking to Johan Langer and Thomas Frank about his new team. So we have now got Justin Cochrane as the assistant coach, and we saw him in the video coaching the first team, putting them through their paces. Someone who Thomas Frank has worked with previously at Brentford. We've got Chris Haslam as head of individual performance, Andreas Gregson as assistant coach, Joe Newton as first team coach analyst, Matt Wells as an assistant coach, obviously continuing his role within the club. Having been there a long time, so keeping us a little bit more aligned with some experience from the club. Cameron Campbell was individual development coach, and Fabian Ott as the goalkeeping coach. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coaches, all got their own specific role. I think. Matt Wells was the defensive coach. One was for set pieces, and one was for the offensive coach. And then, like I say, there's one to do all the analysis and stuff like that. So kind of bridging between the training and the tactics and all that kind of stuff, and how players are playing, the medical team and all that kind of stuff. And of course, goalkeeping coach as well. So seems like he's kind of gone for, from how I understood it in the interview, it was more about that they'd gone with some people that Frank had used before, had worked with before, but they also had a very robust, as they put it, interview process for the other roles, because what they actually want to do is they actually want to be seen as somewhere that helps to develop coaches as well as players and so on. So looking at the overall package of producing good coaches and stuff, there was a couple of promotions with coaches moving from the under 18s to the under 21s and so on and so forth. So it looks like there is an opportunity for coaches within the club to actually progress and to develop their roles and their careers, which I think is really good. I think it's stuff that we don't generally think about, and why should we? we, right? Generally speaking, we're thinking about our first team's performance, how we're getting on, how we're playing, what players we buy in, and all the rest of it. We don't tend to get too involved in the coaching element of it, or any other bits and pieces around the club. It's not really something that we're that bothered about or that involved in, and probably one of the things that we should probably be a little bit more proud of. But I guess until you've got a team that's working in the right direction and giving you what you want as a fan, until you've got that, why would you be interested in all the other successful things that are going on? I mean, how many times do we laugh off the awards for how great the stadium is, or how well they're doing for this and how well they're doing for that? They're all important things, but they're just not important to me as a football fan. I'm interested in my football club doing what my football club should be doing. That's entertaining me on a Saturday at 3 o'clock, winning football matches and playing football in the way that I want to see it played. Expansive, fast flowing, attacking football with a solid back line and all those. Those are the sorts of things that I'm really interested in. So yeah, I guess it's just one of those situations that we're probably not too involved in. So yeah, so interesting times ahead, it would appear. So this week, just as a recap, we've brought in Kota Takai from Japan. We've brought in Mohammed Kudus from West Ham. Potentially we've got Morgan Gibbs-White on the hook. Hopefully that one gets done, but it doesn't feel like Tottenham are done just yet. There is reports of other players on the list, like I say, Vissa, Adam Wharton, still kind of being talked about, so still opportunities in there. And a lot of this is coming from investment from ENIC, apparently, and some really big fee coming in, sponsorship coming in for naming rights for the stadium, apparently. But nothing's been said about that as yet. So we wait and see if that actually does come to fruition or not. But for sure, they must be getting the money from somewhere, the cash from somewhere to be able to do it. Yeah. So interesting times. A much better week this week to talk about football than it was last week. It was a bit dire, a bit miserable. So a lot happier this week. A lot feel like there is things happening and potential for things to happen. Hope it's not one of those scenarios where they go, oh yeah, well, we tried, but this Marinakis guy, he put the kibosh on it, so we can't really do anything. And I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping my enthusiasm and my expectation is not being lifted unnecessarily, shall we say. But we'll see. I'll see you and talk about that probably next week. But as always, thank you for watching the video. If you've got this far, thanks very much for sticking with it. Please do subscribe to Chris's channel if you don't subscribe already. Like I keep saying, there's lots of other people who are doing stuff on here now. Some good, interesting stuff, some good updates from Craig around the players coming in. So yeah, please do give Chris a sub. If you like what I do, please do come across to Leader Dorset Spur. Give me a sub as well. That'd be great to have you. If you like the video, thumbs up and all that malarkey. Appreciate the effort. Let us know in the comment section below what you think. What do you think about these stories? Do you think that now's the time for Levy to step up? Is that what he's going to do? Is he doing it this time? Or is this just a one of those things that's only going to happen once in a blue moon? Anyway, listen, as I said, thanks for watching. Appreciate all the views that we've been getting on these videos, and I'll see you on the next one. And as always, I'll leave you with up the Spurs.